Hello and welcome back everybody. It's Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. In today's story, the man says, after asking so many questions, my wife finally admitted to cheating on me with her co-worker. She also told me that she is in love with him. Now it's time we listen to today's story. Also, if you like what I do, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
My wife and I have been married 2.5 years. It's the second marriage for both of us. We met and began a relationship 6.5 years ago, right after our respective divorces. Me after 32 years and hers after 22 years. My divorce wasn't my choice, and there was no infidelity involved. Her divorce was because her ex cheated. Also, when she was a teenager, she discovered her mother was cheating on her father. Her parents ultimately reconciled. During our dating, we were both aware of how damaged we both were and worked hard on helping each other heal. The word soulmates was how we described each other.
In the weeks before D-Day, the wife has been dissatisfied and disconnected with their relationship.
I suggested marriage counseling and she agreed, and we went. This led to some better dialogue between us, but no real progress. About a week later, through lots of little clues, I asked outright if she was having an affair with her coworker. She admitted she was and said she was in love with him. Apparently, she's never really considered breaking it off with AP. She's led me on with hopes for restoration, claiming to be struggling and confused. Until 2 days ago, when I finally asked the right question, is AP worried she'll leave him? She had to say no, he never was. So, it's over. She hasn't been forthcoming about anything. I've had to do all the heavy lifting. I still wouldn't know anything if I hadn't asked the right questions. I never realized how dishonest she could be, and it makes me question our entire relationship.
Now, OP's been emotionally drowning this whole time.
I had hoped for restoration, and that gave something I could work towards. That hope is gone now. I won't let myself go there. I was hoping for some relief, but I've just added sadness to the mix of emotions. We both had messy divorces before and agree we want to do better. No kids together, no shared assets, and no shared debts. I know I'll probably never know why or understand. I'm struggling, but I'm a reader and a fixer. I'd love resources, especially on splitting in as healthy a way as possible, and maybe forgiveness eventually.
End of part 1. Before we go to the update, let's listen to a comment by the community. Now this response is by Slumberjack.
Go grey rock with her, and see if at all possible. This doesn't have to be done as an act of revenge or even an unhealthy move. Just establish boundaries with her, stick to them, and enforce consequences for crossing them. She's decided she doesn't need you, so don't delay the natural consequences of her decision-making. Maybe this isn't your situation, but I see a lot of people saying they're rising above it all, they're forgiving, they're trying to handle this maturely or in a healthy fashion, and what they're actually doing is shunting aside their true feelings for the sake of outer appearances or to not make people around them uncomfortable. Take care that you allow yourself to feel the big and even negative emotions and process them for yourself, how, when, and for however long you need to move forward.
Now, here is the first update.
So, D-Day was the day after Thanksgiving, and I've wanted restoration, and she let me believe she was undecided. She never was. The one thing I asked for as I prepared to leave was that she be careful about my feelings regarding her interaction with AP. So last night, she actually asked if she could go on a short road trip with him today to pick up a kitten for his wife. He invited her because his wife was working all day. I lost it. I threatened both their jobs. I threatened to expose everything to his whole family, and he threatened me physically. I just didn't care. It was freeing. They believed they could control the narrative. I explained I had nothing to lose. My wife saw a side of both of us she didn't like. She's barely said 5 words all day. I did tell her I would not act on my threats, but that I or someone else might in the future. They made their bed. I think it was a big wake-up call for both of them. I was a saint until I was pushed too far.
Later, OP spent 3 hours communicating with AP's wife and she appreciated it. Now, let's listen to another response before the last update. The response is by Counted Times.
How is the fallout from the talk with AP's wife? OP's reply, it went okay. Her WH has been lying to them both. We haven't told our spouses we're talking. She's gathering evidence for confronting them both. After talking with her, I believe he'll choose to stay married or he'll lose everything. If so, my WW will have thrown away everything based on lies. I'm moving out. Divorce is in process. Hardening my heart. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Now, here is the final update.
I stayed in the home until January 12. She has chosen divorce in order to pursue her relationship with a married man. So last Saturday, I inadvertently found out she was spending the night out of town with him. I know it's none of my business, but I confronted her via text. She denied it, of course. There was no doubt in my mind, so I texted his wife. I also texted my adult stepchildren as we had been in contact because they didn't know where she was. Big blow-up, of course. Now she texts me saying if I contact her, him, or his wife again, she'll get a restraining order. There's been no violence or threats of violence. This is all because I keep calling her out on her BS.
Now, here is a little more info. The AP is her boss. OP hasn't called the corporation yet.
I also haven't contacted his adult kids. Now I'm really angry. I've threatened to call corporate several times, but haven't because I really don't want to see her getting fired. She already hates me and blames me for causing problems by telling people what she's done. Now she's threatening me. Filing for divorce tomorrow. I'm doing better and not sure about her. There's almost no contact since I blew things up.
Well, OP, divorcing is the best way to go, and please don't change your mind under any circumstances. Leave her work out of it until the divorce is settled. Definitely get together with AP's wife for a coffee. Leave them out of the conversation. You don't want them unemployed unless the decree is settled. She may have her own plans too. You can tell your wife to get that restraining order. They will definitely laugh at her. Good luck and all the best. Now, before we go to story number 2, let's listen to a couple of comments by the community. The first response is by King of Glass People.
First of all, you are right and she is wrong. That will always be the case. I really want to tell the world about my cheating STBXW too. I want her to hurt like she hurt me. But it's not productive. The only thing you can gain by this behavior is a messier divorce that costs more in legal fees because she doesn't want to cooperate. She sucks. She's a terrible human. Let other people figure it out on their own. Tell your people so you get support. Her people don't matter. Go no contact as soon as you can.
The second comment is by Tell Me More Lies.
I agree with others. You are well within your rights to tell whoever you want. However, be careful. Your WW has threatened legal action. It is not too far-fetched to expect her to file a false domestic violence report against you. Get yourself a voice-activated recorder and have it with you at all times to protect you against such a claim. Your WW cannot be trusted at this time. Make an appointment with a divorce lawyer and file for divorce. Tell your lawyer exactly what you have posted here. In fact, just print it out and take it with you. A good lawyer can use this as leverage to get you the best possible deal in a divorce by offering to not disclose this further in exchange. There may even be a case against the corporation. However, that is for your lawyer to think about. Once the divorce is final and all the papers are signed, you are free to talk to whoever you want. Play this smart and to your advantage. Your wife is a cheater and is unlikely to change anytime soon.
The second story is titled, Cheating Wife Traumatizes Our 4-year-old Son.
My marriage of 5 years ended with my wife cheating on me multiple times. I only found out when I caught her red-handed with our neighbor. After, I saw her chats where she'd been texting and meeting with men. This was after she sedated me every other night through my food. Still, she denied it all. But then I found a red slap mark on our son's back. He said Mom hit me when he told her that he wanted to meet his grandparents. That was it. The next day, I filed for divorce, and our son chose to stay with me.
OP was devastated. In 6 months, their lives turned upside down, and their son was just 4.
For the first 2 months, he'd wake up kicking and crying at night. I'd put him on my lap and sing him to sleep. He even refused to eat. We discovered later that my ex-wife even sedated his food when she brought other men home. He knew something was wrong. He'd felt drowsy and anxious. Because of this, he started fearing food, so I'd make him eat by telling him stories to divert his attention. As time passed by, he revealed how his mother used to kick him, even bite him if he didn't listen to her. Once, when I was at work, Son had woken up to find his mother with another man. She'd threatened him, saying, "You'll never meet your father if you utter a word." My son was traumatized.
OP decided to move in with his parents, thinking that the son will heal better with his grandparents.
There, I'd wake up early to cook for him, bathe him, and teach him. On days I couldn't work from home, my parents looked after him. They felt terribly guilty. "We arranged this relationship. It's our fault," my mother would say. But we helped each other get out of it. I put my son into a new school. Side by side, we both began therapy. After a few months, when Son stopped mentioning his mother, I sat him down and asked, "Do you miss having a mother?" And he said, "No, I don't want to see Mom ever again." Over time, he started calling his grandmother Mom.
Their life is getting back on track now. The son and OP go to the park every evening and then do their homework. And every weekend, they have movie nights.
After the divorce, my ex-wife never tried to reach out to us, not once. It's been 2.5 years now. Son is fully aware of what happened and has accepted it. At times, if I'm feeling low, Son senses it and gives me a hug. He's so much mature for his age. He keeps telling me that he will study hard and make me proud. Sometimes he wants to become an engineer, at times a train driver. It changes every day. But this once, out of nowhere, he said, "Dad, I want to be a good father like you," and everything seemed okay right about then.
End of the story. Before we go, let's listen to one response by the community.
"That's not sedating, that's poisoning. She should have been arrested. She should not be allowed custody of child. Your move?" OP's reply: "I have successfully separated myself from ex-wife. In my opinion, so why break the peace? The divorce was in favor of the husband, and in India, that's a miracle."
Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.